I've been doing jazz cruises for the past 4 or 5 years, and one of the fun things is that finally, when I'm on the cruise, I get to talk to my audience much more than when you do a single gig, because you're in and out, blah blah blah. So I got to meet so many interesting people, men or female, doesn't matter, but it's always nice to hear from the ladies. And on the cruise there's this time, we have time, we're on holiday, or you guys are on holiday, and there is time to talk and to chat, and it's always so nice. I get so much feedback, and it's also a point or a moment where I like to hear about other people's lives, you know, and like to talk to fans and see what's going on and how did they get to take a cruise, and are they happy, are they here with their husbands, are they alone. And I meet a lot of women, I came here on my own and I'm finally this. So that's always so cool to see and to talk to people. And basically what we're doing today, this is not a male bashing thing, first of all, so guys, rest. No problem. This is about positive stuff, and I think a lot of women are positive already. So we're not talking about things that are going wrong in our lives, but more what are the issues and how do you deal with it. And we all have special, you know, female issues that the men don't have. We all know that. And now's the time to talk about it. But if a man wants to weigh in with his view, I'm always interested, and I hope you two are. You guys are too. I'm from Amsterdam, so you might have noticed from my strange accent. So sometimes I'll say funny things, but forgive me because I don't know the language that well. And I have a host of really wonderful women here. We're missing one, but I think she's coming. She's very busy today. That's Angie Stone. She'll be joining us later, I think. We have here 3 wonderful people, and then I'll give the microphone to Pat Prescott, who's been a great, great friend, and one of my favorite DJs. He's at the Wave at the moment, but we know each other from the CD 101 days in New York. And first I'd like to introduce Sandy Shore. Pat is going to tell all the ins and outs about everybody. We have Margaret, who I've met for the first time here on this cruise. She did the vocals in my set like crazy. I've never had such a great background vocalist. And the DJ on the ship, and she's more than a DJ, Pat will tell you about it, but she's a DJ first and foremost, I think, and she's rocking the house every night here. Please give it up for Kim Hill. Before I thank all of you to come out here in the afternoon, you could also be lounging at the pool, but you chose to be here. Thank you so much. I give the word to Pat Prescott, and she's going to introduce the people.
Thank you so much, Candy. And give it up for Candy. As Candy said, you know, we realize that everybody has issues, and for most of us, a lot of those issues are the same issues. And we're not here to cry and bitch and moan today. We are here really to try to communicate with each other, and to try to find out who has the same issues as me and who might be able to help me, and who's got some ideas and suggestions on how to deal with them. What are we loving and enjoying about our lives right now? All those kind of things. I have this thing I always say, we try to make our boyfriends be our girlfriends. We are perfectly good girlfriends who actually care what we talk about, give you a hug, cry with you, listen to the whole thing, and actually pay attention. And the guys, it's not that they love us, but they don't really understand what we're talking about. And so let's let our girlfriends be our girlfriends. It's really okay. And I think it's better for the guys too, then they can go back and watch the game. And that's really important. I want to just say something about each of the women who are on this panel. As you know, Candy is just such an amazing person. I've gotten to know her even more so with cruises. It's one of the things I think a lot of the artists really enjoy about the cruises. We get to hang out with each other and get to spend time with each other in a way that we don't usually. These people see each other a lot of times coming and going at these shows. It's all about the airport and the hotel, right? And backstage. You know, but to actually sit down and get to talk to somebody and find out what their life is about is just very, very cool. But Candy and her mom, Inga, who is here, who probably really should be on this panel, tell you the truth, because she's amazing. She travels with Candy as a guide in her career. There's Inga right over there. Hard to believe she's a mummy, but they're also shopping buddies and everything else too. But best friends, kind of like, and I relate to her so much because my mom and I are like that as well. Sandy Shore. An announcer, a programmer. She has one of the top internet radio stations. She is a social media expert. She is someone who is such an advocate, not only for this format, but also for music, just for good music, and for sharing that with people and getting the word out about artists. She's doing a yeoman's job of getting that stuff done, and we just appreciate and need you so much. as we move forward with what's happening with radio. Sandy Shore. Rocking the bad pink rap. I first met Margaret Bell working with Dave Cos's BB Winans, and this young lady not only can sing her butt off, she's an earth mother. You know, she is just one of the most down-to-earth, real people. You're going to get a chance to see her doing her own set later on. You'll see her showing up with a lot of other people, because when people see, oh, Margaret's on the ship, everybody wants her to sing with them. And she's been very kind to do a lot of that. Margaret Bell. Kim Hill here, my new best friend, just an unbelievable lady. You know, everybody knows her as a ship's DJ, and we were so excited we saw, we have a lady. We have a lady playing the music and doing an incredible job doing that. But she's got a lot more than that going on for herself. She's a great writer, she's a musician, she's a mommy of a 3-year-old. Shame on you, looking so fly, girlfriend.
Breastfeeding, it's a breastfeeding.
But you want to get to know Kim, you know, definitely want to get to know Kim and come and check her out later on tonight. And last but certainly not least, this lady right in front of me, who I just love and admire so very much. Huge fan of Miss Angie Stone. And everybody knows Angie for her great voice and for all of her records and her wonderful concert performances. But to me, she is one of the best writers right now in the business, writers and producers. She's not only does the music, she creates the music. And so many of her messages are so relatable, especially to us, because she shares her life, she shares what she's going through, she does it in her songs. And Angie, we are so thrilled that you are here. Angie Stone. To hear a lot from you guys, but we thought that what we would do is we would just start out just talking a little bit, share something of ourselves, maybe something we're going through or something that's happening, and most importantly, what we're doing about it and how we're dealing with it. And I told Candy I would start, and for me, Candy and I were laughing last night talking about how we have the same experience in that we had parents who we just feel like hung the moon, you know. Everybody used to call my family the Waltons, you know. We were like that family, you know. My daddy was my hero, my mom was my role model. You know, love them to pieces, and I feel like it's the greatest gift that God could have ever given me loving parents who had standards, you know, who whipped our butts and all of that, and made us believe that we could do things. But now, for me, right now in life, the biggest challenge is something I'm sure a lot of you are sharing. That is watching our parents get older and dealing with what's going on with that. You know, my mom just turned 87, and she's healthy except for a little bit of arthritis, but she's, you know, she's a computer nerd. You know, my mom, for her 80th birthday, I said, "Mommy, what do you want?" She said, "I want a scanner." We got a scanner. She scanned all the pictures, set up a website. She said, "Anything ever happens to the pictures after I'm gone, just go online to this website." You know, and that's who she is. But my dad died when I was 19, but my stepdad was an amazing guy. Now is a double amputee with dementia, and we just convinced Mommy last year to finally let us, you know, put him in a rehab center. We found a great place down in Newport News, Virginia, which is that's where I was born, and that's where my mom lives now. And but you know, just watching this happen is like one of the scariest things in life, you know. And just how do you deal with it? But you deal with it by realizing you're not alone. You're not, you know, there are other people who are dealing with these things, and we just have to talk about them and, you know, share how we deal with the whole Medicare, Medicaid thing, and, you know, and how you find a place that's the right place, and, you know, what to do and what to say. There's a book called The 36-Hour Day. I highly recommend it if you're a caretaker or you're dealing with anybody who's aging and trying to figure out how to take care of yourself too. It's really, really important. There's some real good stuff in there. But that's one of the issues that's happening in my life right now, and I'm sure a lot of you have that same issue. Candy?
Well, I have so many issues now. Let me just see. Actually, I'm very fortunate and very happy lady. But one of the things that I find, and I never thought I would have that, is that I feel and I hope I'm sort of on the 50% of my life. You know, I'm 43 now, and I hope. I'm just guessing, hoping that I got 40 left. You never know, knock on wood. And I'm feeling lately And I have no kids, so for you guys it's probably a different process, but I know you'll have that point when the kids are maybe 17 or 18, that you go like, so what am I going to do with the second half of my life? You know, not that your life is, I mean, it's great what I'm doing, but I've been doing it so many years. I mean, I think you guys all, you know, Angie, I know you've been doing it for so long. At one point there's like, should I do the same thing? It's been going well and I'm happy, but, or should I do something totally different? Should I volunteer? Should I do this? And I'm really thinking about a lot lately to see, you know, where should you be going? Should you push that yourself? You know, should you be the architect of your future, like a lot of people say? Or should you just go with the flow and think like, okay, things are coming my way? I'd love to hear the audience also on your thing, because that's the thing we share. Although my mom's going to be 150.
Your mom is younger than all of us.
You can see she will. I have one of my best friends. We are best friends because our moms are best friends since they were 8 years old. And she keeps saying, I can't lose my mother. I'm not ready. I cannot do that. They can't go. They can't go. It's that feeling. So I'm wondering first of all about what Pat said, what you guys think, and if there's anybody who's on that crossroads also at the moment where you think like, what am I going to do? The kids maybe go out of the house, and then what's your life going to be? How is it going to be? Are you going home?
Let me just, anybody want to share anything on that?
Hi, my name is Karen.
And where are you from, Karen?
I'm from Long Beach, California. Anyway, my mom's 88 and I'm her caretaker. I'm here on this cruise. This is my 5th year. And what's on my mind is my mom constantly. You know, I wake up in the morning. I haven't been able to call her because we're on, you know. So, wow, that hit home. I was supposed to be here today, really. Thank you so much for letting me know that there are people that I can talk to.
Where is your mom?
She's in Sacramento.
And who's with her now?
Well, we bought the condo on top of hers, and I usually am her caretaker all the time, even though our home is in Long Beach. But right now, my other sister is with her. She took off 10 days of work to be with her. So it's right? I don't just
But you know what? Sometimes you just got to give it up for a minute so that you can, because after this week, you're going to go back and you're going to feel so good and so relaxed. You'll be energized to jump back in there and do it the way you do it.
Exactly. I love this quote from Oprah. You all know that you're American. She says it all the time. You got to first take care of yourself, then you can take care of others. So this cruise is exactly what you need. You should enjoy it. Just trust your sister. She's not going to kill you. Yeah.
Hey, Candy, take care of my soror over there. Got a Delta in the house. Uh-oh.
Good afternoon. This is so good for me. I want to say I just lost. Okay. And I felt too that my siblings couldn't take care of my mom. I was going through denial. My mother, I had gotten telephone calls from friends in Detroit. Well, I live in Flint, but home is Detroit.
And what's your name?
Jackie Reynolds. And I was in a state of denial. People would call and say, Jackie, you know, I went by the house and, you know, Mrs. Cunningham, there was something about her, you know, and I said, oh no, she's fine, you know. And so I would call and she wouldn't answer the phone. And I was like, why isn't she answering the telephone?
Can't hear you.
Then, I'm sorry, I said, why isn't she answering the telephone? And my husband said, probably, Jackie, she went and answered the phone and she forgot to hang it up. Okay? So now I started thinking about that. And then I really had to pray, sisters, you know, Lord, I just can't deal with this now. You know, I'm in a doctoral program. You know, I want her to see me graduate. You know, I'm trying to write this proposal. I can't take this. You know, I got a brother who's in Detroit and he ain't stepping up to the plate and he making me mad. You know, it's like all this stuff is on my plate, you know. So finally my husband said, Jackie, you're procrastinating. You gotta drive to Detroit.
Yeah.
It's an hour from Flint to Detroit. And I drove. And when I went, I had a key to my mom's house, but I rang the doorbell and I went in. She didn't answer. So I used my key. I went in the house. And the condition that I found my mom in, y'all just don't know. I just broke down. She was sitting there, she wasn't my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And she was somewhere else. And then I started feeling, I let my mom get guilty. I should come down here. I should, But I took her back to Flint with me after she just went off the chain. You didn't discuss this with me. And that was a struggle because I'm obedient. I'm a child, what my mama said. I'm not going to argue, And my husband stepped up and he said, you have to take control. And I didn't know how to do it. But finally we got it. And she went in the hospital 2 days after she came to Flint with me. And she went in the early hospital while she never came. And that was the hardest thing to deal with my mom. And I miss my mother so much, But she had to say it. She said, Jackie, whenever your husband says go, when he say let's, you say go. And he said, we're going on this cruise. And my mom, I know her spirit is here with me, and she said to me, enjoy myself. So I say, let your siblings do their shit. Don't get like me. You can't control it. Let them take responsibility. And your mother will be fine. She'll be fine. And I know my mom's, I just had to share that. But I miss my mother so much. But I had to say this. I'm having a problem with grief. Okay? So if there's anybody here that knows how to grieve, tell me. I'm hesitant about joining the support group because I don't know when you're all up there trying. But that I miss my mom so. And I have moments and I just cry and tears come out. And I thought I was in control. And then when I left, I found out I wasn't, and the tears just coming and coming. So I'm having grieving issues. So that's what I need to know. I just want to say, let those siblings step up and take their control.
I want to say something to you. It's okay if you have to, or if you feel the need to go to like a grief counselor. My best friend lost his brother, who was his absolute best friend, and we've never been to any type of counseling, which I think everybody needs counseling.
It's very taboo in our community, and we need to release that veil of shame when you need support and help.
It was the best thing he said he could have ever done.
Everybody's always hesitating to do that, but you're not going to be killed by it.
And here's the thing about death, it's the one thing that we all have in common. When it happens to you, you feel like, oh my God, why me? But it's everybody, and it's the one thing we really can relate to. Loss is a very relatable thing. And this right here is therapy.
Yes.
Understand that just to talk about it, and grieving crying is okay. Everybody grieves differently. You do what you have to do. And don't feel any shame or guilt about that. But it's great to reach out to people. And Jackie, people are going to be walking up to you on this cruise and talking to you after this. And that's what we really want to happen. That's what we really want to happen.
Pat, let me just say something too, Jackie. I just lost my father in October, and so I can identify, and my mom is in advanced care for dementia. It's rough, but I want to offer you two things. I think we're stronger than we think we are, which I found out soulfully. And two, the kindness of strangers. Honestly, it's really there. We hope, we wonder, is it going to happen in life, when we're at our most blown out, at the lowest, and you look in strangers' eyes and the love you find and see, it's there, and definitely don't be afraid to get that support.
Reinvent. That's where I am, because I want my mother to see me get my doctorate, and she wrote, and you know what I'm saying?
Just to go along with what I feel. I'm an only child. I lost my dad 3 years ago. I had to bury my father because I retired my parents, 25 years ago. And in doing that, I kind of switched roles with being mama, and they took on the, So, my dad never saw me get Grammy. And I've been in the business for 35 years. And thank you. I'm 51, by the way. Just crazy. My dad passed away, and like you, I was in the strictest denial because I'm still trying to get to this place where I can show Dad that your sacrifice was great. I'm going to make sure mine is greater, because my dad had a chance to play pro football. He got my mom pregnant in high school and quit school to get a job and take care of me. And I carried that for so many years. So, you know, to see my dad die unexpectedly, that's when I cut the album Unexpected. Just to try to go through that. But I learned that God makes no mistakes. And in order for me to get through, to come through so much, I had to fall out on my knees. And sometimes we don't have the answers. We, you know, it's no way, it's no cut to the chase when you're grieving. You just gotta go through it. And at times it gets a little better, and then there are times that it gets worse. But at the end of the day, you know, all I can say to you from a sister to a sister is, God knows best. And they've only traveled where we have to travel. So you kind of, I looked at it as this, and maybe you'll find some consolation in this. I know because my dad's on the other side, there's an angel there rooting for me. And that's the way I look at it. I choose to look at it that way because it gives me some closure. And at the end of the day, you know, I pray to God, but I speak to my dad on a regular basis. So, there you go. Okay?
I think before we go to Kim, for maybe something you're dealing with in your life, you're in a different
We
stage.
be here all day, y'all.
I just want to make one observation that I think women are more prone to feeling guilt. But if you look at your whole life, the process of your life, your baby, your child, then you don't feel guilt most of the time. Although there's already that thing where you sometimes, some kids feel guilty for their not being nice enough for their parents, not getting good grades, so it's already starting. Then you're a teenager, then you feel guilty for this. We can let our whole lives be consumed with guilt because there's always going to be something that we can't do 100% right. We make mistakes. But I feel unless you murdered somebody, throw away the guilt because it's not helping you. I don't know if anybody here that murdered somebody. But really, guilt is such a negative thing. I mean, it's okay to feel something like, oh, I wish I'd done it, but move on and think, okay, next time I'll do it better. But guilt just presses you down the whole day. And my mom had this thing with our her mom that we had this same issue with, or actually this issue that we felt. We were always on the road. We were never taking right care. We put her in a home, but the home was stupid. But it was the only thing we could do, and we loved her and we thought about her. So every time we start about it, we just kick ourselves and say, stop. You know, we can't change it. It's ruining our happy mood, and we should just, you know, move on. That was my.
One of the things I wanted to comment on when you say when you get to that place in your life, like, you know, you're still young. 43, you said?
43.
I think all of y'all are babies.
But I, you know, at 51, well, when I turned 50, I have to be honest with you. My fiance threw this huge birthday party, and there's this big cake that looks like a wedding cake with a big 5 over. Everybody, now, you know, for the longest time I was able to, I could stand at 39, 38 range probably. I'm like, but you're not putting me on blast, now everybody knows. Right? So when I walked in there, something unbelievable happens when you turn 50. That's right. And then you start kind of getting scared. So my birthday just passed in December, and I'm like, Lord, am I making 51? Because you kind of you're getting over the hill. We call it over the hill. But I have to say, it's something to look forward to. Are there some things that you should change? I do think at 50, you should start to grab at straws. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of things that I always wanted to do. Like, you know, I wanted to focus more on acting. I always wanted to do a gospel album. I always, you know, certain things. I'm a grandmother now. I have 2 grandkids. So now I still have a 15-year-old son, so I'm kind of in the ballpark there, you know. But some of the things that I'm getting to do, go to the basketball game, spend quality time with the grandkids, come on a cruise like this and not be so, you know, the tours I have used to be so ridiculous, and it's a great thing, but like I was telling everybody last night, I got television coming up now. I just did 3 films, and Ice Cube, Scary Movie 5, and something I can't remember. But the thing about that is, I gotta tell you this because it blew my mind. I got called to audition for a television show, and then the character was a woman who was 50 that looked much younger than 50, right? And had a teenage son. So I'm like, God, is that I'm still waiting to see if I got the part. It's a Tyler Perry movie, a film, a Tyler Perry TV show. And so, you know, I'm praying every day because even though we don't look 50, we feel, okay, and you know, the weight loss and all that, just did the whole kit and caboodle to try. Look, can't run a Christmas like, you know, Christmas we used to go hard, now it's slow it down, take your time, you know. But I just want to say that yes, I think you should stretch out on faith, be adventurous, do some of the things that you never thought. I'll tell y'all what I did, y'all really finna fall out. I bought me a motorcycle. I got a 3-wheel, I can't do 2 wheels. I can't. 3 wheels are much better anyway. But my other half bought it for me, got it all done up with pictures of it. So you know, last summer I'm on the bike, got music on the bike, I'm pumping up, and I feel like a biker chick. I'm like, wow, my mama said, you waited till you got 50 to get a motorcycle? I said, I'm living my life like it's golden.